Mia.
And I'm Ella.
And today, we have something very exciting to show you. Our crested baby geckos hats. This is a freshly hatched baby, as you can tell. It is still wet from hatching out of the egg. We already have one baby that hatched this morning. So I can't wait to show you guys that. We have no idea what morphs these geckos could be, so stay tuned to find out.
So we have no idea what this could be because it's just a baby, but we noticed that it's really red and not like the mother and the father of this clutch. But this is really exciting because I've never seen a gecko this dark before, like in real life.
He is very adventurous, and we can't wait to show you the other gecko because they look completely different.
So since we have a new hatchling, I was going to talk about the enclosure before we put him in. So we have this bushy thing, or the leaves that you can just get from your local serpentarium or pet store. This is for like hiding so they don't feel like they're out in the open with just paper rolls. And moving down again to the paper rolls, you don't leave these in your bathroom. These aren't the ones that go in your bathroom. They're clean. And you might be wondering about why we have paper towels down here. It's so that we can monitor their poop. I know that sounds weird, but if they don't poop, they don't eat. And if they don't eat, they can't survive. So this is how we monitor it because it's fully white. This is a gauge that helps monitor the temperature and the humidity. It's important to monitor the temperature because they don't just stay in normal weather like humans do. They need it a little bit warmer instead of colder. The gauge is also for humidity. The humidity is important because so they can shed. And if they don't shed, like for example, if it gets stuck on their toes, then their toes can fall off, and that's not good. Mm-hmm. There's a little thing hiding in this cage right here. Do you know what that is?
So transferring a baby gecko into its cage isn't a very good idea to do with your hands, because if you grab a baby gecko with your hands, that's a new fresh hatchling, even if you don't know how long it's been hatched, and you put it in its cage, it could get stressed out. It could drop its tail, which if you want more information about baby geckos or geckos in general, dropping their tail, make sure to check out my last video. And also, baby geckos are extremely fast. So if you just grab one and it tries to run away, you could accidentally squish it or squeeze it too tight with your hands, and it could die or get injured because you accidentally squished it too hard because they are fragile. Even as adults. So what we did is we got one of these paper towels, that rolls that my sister was talking about in the last segment, and we kind of got the top of the lid and just gently, ever so gently, pushed him kind of into the lid just to make him go into the toilet paper roll, and then we just set it down in there, and he immediately just ran out. So that's the easiest way to transport a baby gecko. I also want to add that there is no food in here anywhere right now because usually they get their nutrients from their yolk when they're in the egg. So they usually don't eat for the first 24 to 48 hours. So don't get scared and think, oh my gosh, my baby gecko isn't eating, because they usually won't eat the first few days because they're already full. It is still important to make sure you put food in their cage for the first 24 hours. Just make sure you feed them just a regular diet. Don't feed them any crickets until they're about a month old because it's not very good for them. We're also going to make a whole new future video about feeding our adult crested geckos bugs, so stay tuned for that. And let's move on to Ella.
Hey guys, I'm Ella. And I'm going to be telling you how to move your crested gecko baby safely into its place. So first you have to take off its lid, and then you take out all of the leaves so that they don't run away and hide into other places where you can't see them. Then you take a tube and you get them carefully. But before we move on, I'm going to be showing you how different they look from each class. This crested gecko is a harlequin, and she is very pretty. Other than the other crested gecko that we saw, she is pretty light for being a part of the same clutch. Look how pretty she is. So now we're going to look at the other crested gecko. Look how much darker he is. He's pretty fired up right now, so he's a little bit darker. But when they're fired down, he will look a little bit lighter. But he's super pretty, and he's way darker than the other gecko. On his tail, it's way different than his body. That's because sometimes it can fall off, and it might be a little different. But he's really pretty, and he's so... Now we're going to talk about how we put him in. So we just slightly tap his tail with the lid and put him in the tube, and we just carefully set him in there. And we don't really make him go out. He'll come out when he would like to. But that's basically how we put him in safely. And then we of course have to put away the leaves. And then we'll just put on the lid. And you can't really see it, but he's moving around too. He's really pretty. So this is the egg that he hatched out of. We're expecting 2 more eggs in 1 month and even more eggs in the next month.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this exciting adventure through our new baby crested geckos.
Make sure you like and subscribe because our next video is going to be called Chill versus Sketchy Crested Geckos.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye!